Welcome once again to the database class. Now, in this class, we are going to learn a lot of things about data, the storage of data, the manipulation of data, and how you can use tools to manage all the data, where we classified it as database. During the course of this training, I will take you through the various types of databases, and eventually we will learn how to use these types of databases. At the end of today's session, I will give you a link to actually go and download a software we'll be using for our practicals. This training is based on practicals because we have the set or the mindset to actually equip you with hands-on experience. Before we start the class, does anyone have any question?
No, there's no question.
Okay. Right. Now, we will begin by what data is. What a data is. In fact, most of us know data. We've heard about database before. We've heard about database management. We always use data, but some of us might be new to what actually is database. It's my responsibility to let you know or to explain to you what is all this about when we talk about database, for you to understand the concept before we actually move to the practical session. Today is my objective to make you understand the meaning of data, database, and what the database management actually means. After that, we will take a quick look to the types of databases for you to understand what you are going to go through. After the types, I will lead you to each of them, and I will actually choose one of them where we will do most of our practical with it, so that anywhere you go, you can apply your knowledge. We will be looking at MySQL database, whereby you can actually build your own databases and meet practical experiences. Right. What is data? Data, we all know. Every day we use data. Browsing online is data we are sharing in the form of the site we are visiting. It is data. Now, the things we are storing. When you visit your photo gallery, the pictures there, they are data. When you visit your song playlist, the songs listed there, it is a data. A whole lot when you visit your e-commerce website. So let's say you are going to make shopping online, you visit these various online shops. So let's say Melcom. You visit Melcom, you go there, you see we have categories. They are all data. Now, what is a data? In fact, they are related facts and figures. What do we mean by related? Right. Now, you will know that when I was starting, I said when you visit your photo gallery, you have so many pictures there, right? Now, take note of something here. This sentence, when you visit your photo gallery. Now, what am I trying to show here? I'm trying to say your photo gallery, meaning that gallery you are going to find only photos. There is no way you should go to your photo gallery and a file a Word document file is there? No. So from the meaning here, the data is the collection of related. It's the same way that applies to these online stores. When you go to your online store, your preferred online store, let's say Amazon, then you go to computer accessories. There is no way at the computer accessories you are going to find a cloth or a shoe. Right, maybe there might be a cloth, but that cloth is linked to computer accessory. Maybe it's a computer gadget. Any question with this? Right. Now, data can also come in the form of so many things, numbers. So we can say, okay, so a group of people, how many are they? They are 5. A group of people, how many are they? They are 10. They are all data. Or users of a specific app or website, they are all data. Now we understand data. We now understand what is data. What is a database? In database, the word database, we know what is data. Now, what is a base? A base, in a layman's idea, a base is a storage thing or something you can keep things inside or other things inside. So when you add these two things together, a data and a base, database. So maybe in your various home, you have a basin, you store water inside. So maybe I can say water base. Or you have a basin, you store your gadget inside, gadget base. Now, this base we are going to use is a database. So a database, as you can see, is a collection of related data. So in a data, we can have a database for students. Now, when you go to that database, it is saying a collection of related data, meaning in that database, we have only students. Any questions so far? Right, let's move on. Now, our next thing we are moving on is database management system. Now we know data, we know base, and we know database. What is a management system? Right. In every institution, organization, companies, a whole lot, we have a set of unit that manages that organization. For example, in your various universities, tertiaries, education sectors, or even in your homes, we have managers of that home. Those are your parents. So the ability to actually control the operation of a defined unit. So in a tertiary institution, let's say in a university, now you go to the university, there is a management. Before you come to the staff, you come to the students. The management, they are overseeing the actions, the operation, and everything that's going on in the school. Database management system. Now, it is a software used to maintain database. Now, we know data, we know base, we combine together, we get a database, which is containing related data. How are we going to see that thing we've created, that base we've created, actually continues to exist and perform the actions we want it to perform? Here, the management comes inside. Now, this management comes inside. What are they going to use to manage this database? It's a system. There are going to be rules regulating. There are going to be the do's and don'ts. So in the management will come. Nobody's supposed to make noise at this time. Their management, they are imposing rules and those things so that they see to it the affairs of that school. That's the same thing we are doing to our database. So let's say you've created your own base, let's say water base, and you are going to manage that water base. Now you are going to make sure no one actually comes and fetch water from that base, that your database. So the rules you are going to apply to that base and how you are going to manage it to actually exist for a longer time is called the database management system. Any question? Okay. Now we are done with database. We are done. We know data. We know database. We know database management system. Please, any question before I move on?
And no previous.
Right. Let's continue. Now you can see from my screen, I have diagrams and some writings. We are going to study the architecture of a database. Now we understand what is a data. We know what is a base. Now we know what is a database. Now we know what it takes to manage data. That's a database administration or database management system. Now, what goes into database management system? The structure. How is it organized? What do we need to know about the various skeleton of a database management system? Remember, in the course of this training, it's my responsibility to make you understand every bit of it. So if you don't understand anything, kindly let me know. If you are also watching this, that means you didn't join the live session and you have a question, you can send me your question in the Slack channel. Right. We have application, other uses, DBMS. Now, DBMS here means database management system, the one we just defined. Now we have DBMS here. We have storage area. We are going to take it one by one. Application. Now, when we talk about application comes in so many forms. So applications, so let's say we build our database, let's say collecting information or data about students. Now, this database we are building, we want to store student information in it. We have an application connected to this database that's collecting every information about every user using this application. We also have other users. Other users can also be people who are actually visiting. We also have other DBMS, other database we can source data from into our main data. So we have We can collect information from here, the data we want. We can collect information from here. We can also take it from here. Now, all this, we are going to store it in our database here. Now, before it even gets to the storage area where we let it lay peacefully, we have to perform some rules and regulations, as we earlier said, on as the management system, the database management system. Now, these rules, examples are the records, the queries, the updates. That's the update of records and the data. When we talk about records are just the information we are putting in our database. So let's say 100 people visited our website today. That's a form of data. We can say, okay, people visiting our website, they were mostly from Asia, right? We can also go to and apply such rules as queries. Queries means, okay, so we go to our database, you say, okay, database, give us the number of people who actually access this website from the country Ghana. Then all the Ghanaians who visit, or all people who access our website from Ghana will pop up. That's the queries. Query means asking something from the database. Update records. So, okay, we say, okay, so database, we initially put a record saying Billy is a 14-year-old guy. Now we find out that Billy is actually 15 years. So we've gone to our database to update instead of the 14 to 15. That's the update of records. Now we have the data. The data are just what we've collected. So we've collected the number of people, the number of frequently visits of our website, the number of people who've enrolled in our university, a whole lot. They are all data. Now, after applying all these to the data we've gotten, the data then move to the storage. It goes here to be stored. So here, the data keeps on here till the next time we come and maybe make a query, update, or store another data. Any questions so far?
No.
Yes, you have a question, right?
No, no. I said it's not a question. My question was answered.
Okay. Now, we are moving on to the types of data. The types of data. In fact, we have a whole lot of data types, database types. In this training, we will be learning these types of data. And the one we will be practicing is the more widely used one, that is the relational database. I'm going to explain all these types of data to you, and after that, we will take a step and dive into what actually is relational database. So that's where I will introduce you the software, then you install it. Our next meeting, we'll start with our practicals. Now let's move on to the types of data. Before that, please, any question? Okay. Now we are starting with relational database. What is a relational database? When we talk about relational database, we will take the meaning from its name, relational. Remember when we were starting, I told you related data. We said something about related data where I gave an example, like when you go to your photo gallery, you will see only photos. When you go to your music gallery, you are going to see only music. So the data there, they are all related. Right. We have 10 minutes to rejoin this session. So when it ends, I will generate a new link in your Slack channel for you to join the session again. Before that, let's continue. Right. Relational database. In fact, this type of database actually defines the relationship in form of tables. So, for example, let's take the most common database you can see in Excel. So you can see in an Excel, when we are creating databases or we are arranging tables, we put related data in columns. So you can say we have name, date of birth, location, address. So in the table, we have related data in each column. In fact, this type of database is the most popular DBMS on the market. In fact, example of this type of database include what you'll be doing a practical on it, that's MySQL. We have Oracle database, we have Microsoft SQL Server. Any question on this? Okay. The next type of database we are going to tackle is distributed database. Now, a distributed database is a type of database that has contributions from the common database and information captured by local computers. In fact, in this type of database system, the database is not in one place and is distributed at various organizations. For example, very common example, it's our banks. You realize you've created a bank account on, let's say, in a city or a certain town. You realize when you go and stay in another town, you can go to that branch and go and withdraw. That's an example of distributed database. They are all taken from one particular database, but it has many outlets. So you created a bank account in Ghana, then you travel outside, you realize you can still and you have a branch of that bank there at where you've gone to, you can still go to that branch and withdraw or deposit without needing to go to where you actually created your bank account. It's a distributed database. Please, any question? Now we will move on to cloud databases. In fact, a cloud database is a database which is optimized or built for such virtualized environment. In fact, there are so many advantages of cloud database. It offers scalable on demand along with high availability. Now, cloud database, let me bring it to our normal everyday life. For example, we have Google Cloud, we have the iCloud, the Microsoft OneDrive, and a whole lot and so forth. Now, these databases, they are stored in a particular data center somewhere where your data is stored, but you can access it remotely. When we say remotely, meaning online, without you needing to be there physical. So you can be anywhere you log in, you access your data. So maybe you've uploaded your data on your iCloud, data such as photos. Then you've traveled. Maybe you've gone to visit your grandmother, you want to show photos. You just log into your iCloud, you show the photos. So this is a cloud database. Any question? End user database. Now, when we talk about end user database, they are these sort of database where in various organizations, various companies, in the software, the apps you use, when you sign in, they have your database. So with this database, you are able to log in every time you want to use that app or that system or that website. So you've created an account with a website whereby it renders you some services. You realize every time you need to go, you don't have to sign up again, but you have to just log in, meaning it already have your data. So you just log in, it authenticate that in fact it's you, and gives you the access to go and do whatever you want to do. Now, operational database. When we talk about operational database, this is a database whereby it's actually working. So, for example, sometimes, right? So, for example, sometimes in organizations, you will realize this guy is making a transaction at this branch. The data must come to the main database. So that data, so Billy went to a branch here, withdraw around, let's say, $5. $5 at this time. Now, the money, the time, the everything, that data will migrate to the database. That's operational. So a data that's active constantly. Okay, two people have created an account here at this branch. So this data, the user activities. So you see, this data is actually working. So this, we have this operation done, then it comes. This one do this, it comes. So they keep track of everything that has been going on so that they will know, okay, at the end of the day, this came here, they analyze it and they can make conclusion on whatever they want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, any question? Right. We are going to rejoin again. Then we'll move on to our relational database. Right. Thank you.